Hi, my name is Alexandra.Davidoff and welcome to my studio. So this video is a companion for my pattern collection, Park Avenue Plaid. And this is an example of a hat pattern right there. So in this collection of patterns, I explore the technique of using stranded knitting together with beads. And I thought, like, if I do a video tutorial on the chart and a bead application, it would be very helpful. So in the first video, this tutorial is two parts. In the first video, I'm going to be talking about the chart, why I wrote it this way, and what each key means. And in the second part, I'm actually going to show you how to apply beads with a crochet hook onto your knitting. And this technique you can use for other projects as well. It goes through the, like for the whole collection of Park Avenue Plaid, but also this is it if you never applied bead with a crochet hook onto your knitting, this is a video for you. So hopefully you will enjoy it and take a look. So let's talk about the chart, comparing and compare it to the sample, and why charts that you see in front of you written this way, and what are those keys that are next to the chart. So let me just tell you before I start my explanation that I actually did not look online for any of the charts, existing charts done by other designers that combine color work and beads. I intentionally didn't do it simply because I didn't want it to influence my work and the way I wanted to describe how to place beads and how to organize the chart. So whatever you see, it's just the way I think is convenient for me to write a pattern, to write a chart, and I think it's actually makes sense. So let's see the sample. So what you see in front of you is my Park Avenue Plaid hat, and I have two versions of this hat. One is a shorter version, like a more like a fitted, and this one is a slouchy, which is slightly like a one repeat longer than another version. So I think it's a good example because you can see the pattern in like so many repeats, and you can tell that the beads are located right in the middle of each diamond shape right there. So let's look closer, and it actually sits directly on a stitch. So because it's done with a crochet hook. So for this technique, there's a different ways of applying beads on your knitting. And in this case, we're using a crochet hook, and we place bead with a crochet hook directly onto a stitch. So when I was trying to first time to come up with a chart, I found it very challenging because I'll explain to you why. So here you can see multitude of those little diamonds. It's done in yarn A and B, just two colors, and this is your one repeat, 14 stitches wide and 14 rounds up. So let me just take it away, and if we zoom in, that's what we see right there. So this is one repeat, 14 stitches by 14 stitches. So you can see that let's compare it to the keys. So we have yarn A, which is the darker color, this one. We have yarn B, which is lighter color, and this represents, of course, it's a knit stitch. All stitches are done as a knit stitch, and we have two more keys which are different. So this one is not yarn over. Like if you are accustomed of reading charts, you know this very often in the charts represents, this key represents a yarn over. So in this case, I used it to show the bead location. So it's right in the middle of, just ignore this part. Look at those little circles. It's right in the middle of each diamond. So, and let's see what it says in parentheses. So bead location, it's actual location of a bead. Place bead on a round above. So what does it mean? If you ever done knitting, applying beads to your knitting with a crochet hook, you know that when we do that, we actually place a bead on a row below. So, for example, that's just the way it's done. So it kind of slides down. So, for example, here we need to place a bead on around 4, right? I mean, it's indicated on around 4. But if I do it on around 4, so for example, if I'm reading a chart just like this, we most of us using like something like this, and so okay, I'm on around 4. So here you go, bead location. So if I didn't read what is inside the parentheses, I would place a bead, and what would happen, it would actually slide on row 3, and it would not be centered in the middle of the diamond. It would actually go below. It would be completely off centered. Like it would not look good unless you want to try to do it intentionally. So when it says again, so if you're going around 4, don't forget it says bead location. This is actual bead location. Place a bead on around above. So I really just wanted to indicate it here. So it would make sense. So when you look at that, yes, the bead is in the center. So next, so what is this little key means? So it stands for PBK, which means place bead and knit, right there. So, and I chose this specific key because it looks like a little bead and an arrow, and this is exactly what it is. So when you are on around 5 or 12, so here's what you see. And again, because most of us, we use something to cover the rows below, and just a little ruler. And we literally don't see, like if you use something like this, you don't see what is below. So it's so like if I don't put those marks right there, all I could see, like it would be nothing there. And it would be very easy for me to miss to place the bead. So when you are again on around 5 or on around 12, so that indicates that the first stitch of this repeat would be place bead and knit, and that would be like, just keep watching this video and I will show how to do it exactly. But that's again, when you place it on a row around 5, it actually slides down, and it will be exactly where it is indicated in the chart and where I want it, in the middle of the diamond. So, and it does look like a little bead with an arrow. So I wanted to kind of like be as a reminder, place a bead and it will slide right there. So it's actually, once you start working the chart, it actually makes complete sense. All you have to do is to remember that when we place a bead with a crochet hook, it goes on a round below or on a row below. So in this case, it's a round. So that's all. And those little guys here, little keys, is just so you would not miss to place it. Because again, if you cover it with a ruler, and imagine if I didn't have those keys right there, it would be super easy for you to completely miss placing beads. So this is for you, just a reminder. And again, if you do it on row 5, place a bead, it slides down, and actual bead location would be on a row around 4 and 11. So, right. So I'm actually very happy the way it worked out, the chart, but I am very curious about what you think. So here are again the sample of the hat, which is slouchy, a Park Avenue plaid hat in a slouchy size, and the chart. I have my beads and a crochet hook, and of course the ruler, which gonna help me to know exactly on what round I am. So I'm actually working on a new sample for this hat. So I'm gonna take this away, and right now it's gonna be smaller version of this hat. So let me just, I lost some stitches here while I was moving it. I better place it back. And I am right now actually on a row on around 11. So remember when we were talking about the charts is that this is actual bead location, right? But we place it on a round above, just like it described there. So, and this is actually what happening. You can see, so I'm on the round 12, and you see how I place it there, but it's slided on the row 11, on round 11. So it is directly on the like an intersection, like in the middle of my diamonds. So, and it's exactly where I want it to be. So right now, so I'm gonna cover, use my ruler, and so I can see that I'm on around 12. And I just finished, I can see this lighter color diamond, and I'm moving toward the darker. So I have to place a bead in the center of the darker diamond right there. So let me just situate my yards. So here it is, and I want my beads to be kind of near me so I can see it very easily, and you can see it. So so see, this is like my beads there, so I have to place the next one. So placing beads with a crochet hook, it requires 6 steps. So the first step would be knit to the stitch where the bead will be placed. So right now I am right there. I just completed this stitch. So it's this column, number 7. Next, take your hook and place a bead onto a crochet hook. So I'm picking up this little dish with my beads, picking it up, and placing it directly on a crochet hook. So next, slip the target stitch from the left hand needle onto a crochet hook with a bead. So just like that. And next step, step number 4, would be slide the bead from the hook onto a stitch. And to do that, I actually need help of my 2 fingers. And I literally just left my knitting alone. You don't have to, I mean, it's actually gonna stay, don't worry, it's not gonna go anywhere. But you need those 2 fingers to hold the bead, because we need to slide the bead from the hook onto a stitch. So it's right there. So next, return the stitch now with a bead to the left hand needle. So I'm placing it back to the left hand needle, but it's not complete until I do the step number 6, which would be knit into the stitch with a bead. So, and I'm using in this case yarn A, darker yarn, and I'm just knitting the stitch. So now it's complete, and you see how it's slided on the row around below. So it's actually situated right there, exactly where I wanted it to be. So let's do, and just continue with your knitting. So let me just continue until I reach next diamond. Let me do that. And just follow the pattern. Just like it says there. And again. 1, 2. So now I'm again right there. So I am at the point where I have to place a bead right there in the center of the diamond of my lighter color bead diamond. So let's do it again. So I'm right there. So this key means PBK, place bead and knit. So step number 1, knit to the stitch where the bead will be placed, which I just did. Step number 2, place a bead onto a crochet hook. So I'm just gonna pick it up and place it directly on a crochet hook. Step number 3, slip the target stitch from the left hand needle onto a crochet hook with a bead. And for that, just like that, right? So, and then step number 4, slide the bead from the hook onto a stitch. And for that, I need the help of my 2 fingers. So I'm holding the bead with those 2 fingers and I'm sliding the bead onto a stitch, just like this. So next is return the stitch now with a bead to the left hand needle. So I'm placing it back, I'm replacing it, but now with a bead. And this stitch is not complete until we finish step number 6, which is knit into the stitch with the bead. So I'm using this lighter color, yarn B, and I'm knitting to the stitch. So now it's complete. So I'm continuing with my knitting, following the chart, working in a stranded knitting technique. And I'm approaching now the middle of the next diamond where I'm going to place a bead. I'm still on around 12. I'm just gonna tighten my stitches here. So again, it says step number 1, knit to the stitch where the bead will be placed. I'm right there. So this is the stitch where the bead goes on. Step number 2, place a bead onto a crochet hook, which I'm doing right now. Right there. Step number 3, slip the target stitch from the left hand needle onto a crochet hook, just like this. Step number 4, slide the bead from the crochet hook onto a stitch. So I need help of my fingers to hold the bead. I am pulling the stitch through the bead and then return the stitch. This is step number 5. Return the stitch now with a bead to the left hand needle. But again, this stitch is not complete until we knit this stitch. So step number 6, knit into the stitch with a bead. And here you go. Now it's complete and it's perfectly, all those stitches perfectly in the center of the diamond, exactly where I want them to be. So as you can see, it's pretty easy once you understand How to apply it. Don't worry that it's gonna slide off, and even if it does, it's not a big deal. You can always pick it up. But knitting with beads, and especially applying the beads onto your color work, is so much fun and makes everything extra beautiful. And right now, so I'm on this color right now, and I'm just going to continue to work this round until I finish round 12. Let's see. Oh, I'm just so happy with it. And let me show you the wrong side. So let me just pull my fingers here. So I wanted to show you the wrong side because it's actually, when you wear it, beads are covered with your strands of your yarn, and I really don't feel it. Like you can feel it maybe tiny little bit, but it's honestly, for the hand, but it's honestly doesn't bother me at all. So, so here it is. That's how you work. That's how you apply beads with a crochet hook and combine it with stranded knitting. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was helpful, and sign up for my channel for more video tutorials and vlogs, and I'll see you soon. Bye.